Hey everyone, I'm back here with another video with Ray Outfitted, and I know all of us all have all sorts of concerns when it comes to building our van. How do we do it? Where do we start? What do we do next? What do I do? Is this right or is this wrong? Well, this video said this video said that. So I figured instead of you guys being all confused that we would sit down with some professional van builders and have them share some tips, tricks and advice, and also some stories of things that they've seen from customers that have brought their vans here that have either built them on their own or have purchased them with all sorts of build mistakes in it. So today we're going to pop in the van here and go talk to Madison and Rainer from Ray Outfitted.
So we're here to talk a little bit about some of those do's and don'ts and what some of the insights we can share. What do we see from some of our clients? The first thing we really want to stress, number one, is the speed in which you do your upfit. When you need to go in that fast-paced build, I'll still encourage you to slow down, take it in steps, give yourself time to live in the van, use the van, go on a trip, drive it around to find out how much it rattles, whatever. Slow down. Rushing through the build is by far the number one mistake people make. It's something I love that Chrome does in his videos, and what he talks about is how he got in it. Just slap it in there and get going, and you're going to figure it out, and it's going to make sense, and that saves you money, that saves you heartache. And what you don't see on Chrome's channel that you'll see on many others is the video of what I do differently next time. AKA, I went fast and I made mistakes and I didn't get a chance to learn before it was too late. And so if you learn anything from this, I hope it's this. Chrome's right, go slow, figure it out, do the cheap thing, it's fine. And when you are ready to either do a big build out or hire someone, you're gonna actually know what you want. Number two is the second most important in my world, but Rainer's gonna preach it.
You need to plan for repairability and do not bury your electrical. I'm not saying you can't put any wires behind your walls, but make sure they are accessible when you need to do repairs, because it's a rolling vehicle. It moves. You're not using household grade. Morettes and Romex don't really belong in a vehicle. Use yourself marine grade, automotive grade wiring, because it is meant to move. It is meant to actually be used in a vehicle. Like in our vehicle, we prepared for repairability. I just opened up this cabinet and our wire harness is right in the top corner. When you look at all our photos, you never see it. But at the end of the day, I can get to those wires when we need to repair something.
And it's really simple things. It's things you won't think that you're going to need to repair. For us, one of the first repairs, all of our ceiling lights, you can see they're all on right now. We quickly realized you really don't want to have your bedroom and your kitchen lights on the same switch if someone wakes up first. So Rainer was able to quickly pop in there and adjust our wiring so that we have separate switches for the bedroom and the kitchen area. It's these little tweaks you want to be able to make. It's these little repairs you want to be able to make. The most expensive mistake we see come into our shop, admittedly some of our least favorite projects because it's not satisfying money to spend, and we like having people make investments with us, but our least favorite that we get a lot is electrical gone wrong. And one of the most painful ones is you have spray foamed, completely buried, hidden those wires, and then you're going to ask some professional like Rainer what's wrong, and his answer is only going to be able to be,
I have to run new wires.
Replace it all. So please, in every aspect of your build, think about repairability, and that can go beyond your wiring. Chrome and I had a funny conversation about flooring. Now you can say you should do the flooring first, front to back of the van. That's what we did, but you can actually also do flooring last. Build out your cabinetry and only put the floor in the visible places. What that means is when a piece gets damaged, you can pop it up and replace it. For us, we couldn't do that without removing a bunch of this cabinetry because it's all locked in place. Think about repairability. Go slow. If you give yourself time, you'll avoid all kinds of mistakes that I could talk for hours before I get to that little tidbit for you. If you go out with a basic build or nearly no build at all, you're gonna understand how you, and if you have a partner, it need to live. Will that fridge in that location work? Will this work for you? Will that? If you go slow, if you pause, and just enjoy what you already have accomplished, because it's a big milestone to get to owning the van and having a bed in there. It's a big deal. So go slow and you'll figure out your pieces. If you've watched Chrome from the beginning, you've been able to see him actually really embody this quite wonderfully. He didn't come out in his first video with the perfect finished van defending every choice in it to then 12 months later to say, these are the 10 things I'm going to do differently on the next build. If you slow down and give yourself time, all will be revealed. It's going to make a lot of sense. Slow down.
She's right. You don't need a lot of money to start van life, nor do you need all these big fancy permanent built-in cabinets when you first get going. That's where the mistake comes in. Too many people want that fancy van build and aren't willing to sacrifice, maybe living in a tin can with the bare bones for a few months before they actually build it. That's what I did. For one, I didn't have any money when I started. I was broke. This is my very first van build. Simple, basic, plastic cabinets, and everything I need secured. I just strapped it with bungee cables to my wall. As you can tell, I had no insulation for at least the first 4 or 5 months of my van life, because I didn't need it yet. I added things to my van as I could afford it and as I needed it, and that's probably the best way to start van life. Get to know the space you live in before you build it. Like right here. I'm taking apart my bed frame and moving my bed around much like you do when you move into a brand new apartment. You move your furniture around until you get used to the space and know what feels right and works for you. You can't do this if you build your van out from the very beginning. You need to make these mistakes when everything in your van you have is simple and movable. Look at my van. I was so proud of this space. It worked, it was comfortable, some wooden boxes, some plastic shelves, and I was happy. Start simple. Besides, it's way cheaper.